good in high def. That's what we want. So I think we are just about ready to start. Once all the tech is in place, then we can really uh, have a great class. Welcome, everyone, to Global Leader for our morning, Wednesday morning in Oshawa, in Canada, for those who are joining us from outside of Canada. Oshawa is about, I don't know, 50 kilometers from Toronto, which is the big city in Canada, but there are quite a few of them. And you might be able to see today, if I just go over here and take the camera over there for a moment, you'll see around the smart board there is white. Last 2 weeks ago when I was here, it was green. So there was grass. And now we have snow. But, next week, given the way climate change is right now, that could easily all melt tomorrow and we might have our grass back. So who knows? Everything is possible in this very volatile world today. And that's partly why you have signed up for Global Leader. So you can figure out how to navigate and how to get ahead and actually lead, more than follow or more than just coast along, but really get ahead. And so that's what we're going to do, of course, in today's class. And I was hoping that Ash could join us from Pakistan to do a more full class today on empowerment. But we will see. It depends on his connection. From there, he was possibly bringing a group of students from a local college in northern Pakistan with him today, and we were going to start looking at this idea of exactly what does empowerment mean and how can it work in terms of empowering you to start developing your own projects, because that's really something that's going to be critical for you this semester in Global Leader, is something that you will start to want to develop, and maybe that will become your final assignment, a project that you are actually proposing, in which you describe, either written or in a video, how that project would be organized and led by you. And last week we started to look at this a little bit with Ryan's idea, um, in terms of this big dimension called vision. Okay, so I'm going to be returning to that today, but essentially, we're really going to try and understand more about this idea of what empowerment means to you and what it means in terms of the kind of initiative that you would want to develop and lead. Would you want to be empowering the people that are working with you or for you, or would you want to be directing them in a much more strict way in terms of ordering them or giving them kinds of commands? What kind of leadership style do you think is most effective when it comes to actual leadership? So this all comes back to this idea of empowerment. So if I'm a little slow today or my voice is cracking, it's because I'm still a little bit under the weather, but I will keep a distance from all of you. I don't have COVID, so it's okay. And I'm not going to touch the microphones anymore. I did briefly about a half an hour ago. So if there's a germ or two sitting on the microphone, I would just blow it off. Go away, germ. All right. And then as for the planet, there's so many germs on it already, and it's got so many problems that, who cares? If I touch it or do more with it, it will already be a little bit poisoned. No, that's a pessimistic view. And idea of leadership that we explore in this class is always going to be, no matter how bad things look, how difficult they may be, there will always be that optimism, that sense of energy there that's going to help you, because I think that's such a critical quality. Okay, so let's just check in with all of the students who are joining us online for a moment and make sure that they're all comfortable there wherever they may be. As you can see, we have our cosmos there, and We have planet BN, planet A, planet CN, planet MK, and planet ND, and we might even see when they feel ready to share video, but you don't have to. Richie, here comes planet RA, Richie Awiti. How are you today, Richie?
I'm doing good. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm good. Did you see the instructions for the first reflection?
Oh, yes, I did.
Great. Okay. Do you have any questions for us about what you need to do for it, or when it's due, or do you feel pretty clear on what's being asked?
Yeah, I feel pretty clear.
Okay.
Maybe if, as the lesson goes on, I may have some questions.
Okay. Great. So I just want to make sure that everybody is clear about what's coming, because you have your first uh, real 4 marks work that's due next week on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. in the Dropbox. And for those of you who've taken other classes that I teach, your short history of the world, humanities, destiny, you will know my style. It's basically the same in those classes, just the content is different. But I'm very big on reflections. So Richie has been in another class and he understands that. But I want to make sure that you will be clear today about this first reflection, because it's due next week and it's worth 15%. And I also want to explain some of the other reflections too. So that's great. Cindy, hi. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Great. So it's all working. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like to bring to the class's attention before we jump into, the in-person group, which is the real, energy of this class. This is the nucleus right here, okay? And this is the protons and the neutrons. And then the online group are the electrons, and they're flying all around the nucleus, right? It works for the chemical laboratory technician students here. You would probably understand the basic chemistry here, okay? So Cindy, are you clear about the first reflection and what's coming? Okay. Well, you just if you yeah. Oh, I see. All right. So it's in the live chat. So I'll make sure we check in the live chat. Okay. So everything is pretty well connected online, and that's good. And we'll come back to that group there, and then there are all the students watching the recordings, which is working really well because I'm starting to see in some of the emails that I'm getting from students that it's all working. And so just remember that our class is a learning community. So our community extends from here, into the online group right now that's synchronous, and then it extends to the recording group as well. So it also extends to other countries too. Ajoy, I think, is there from Dhaka and Bangladesh. And Ajoy, how are you today or tonight? Well, he may be having some connection issues there. Okay, well, anyways, I know they're there, so we can always come back to them. Great. So how's everybody here? Everybody ready for a little adventure in trying to understand some new perspectives on leadership and opening your mind to ways that you can actually succeed? Maybe you never thought that you could before. So does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we start with a little bit of review? Anything on your mind? Yes. So take a microphone. Okay, I'm not going to touch it. Come up and grab a microphone. Okay, and just turn it on and like karaoke. Talk close. Okay, and why don't you come up here? Grab a seat over here. Okay. Yeah. Well, over there. Okay. See, I'm over here. You're over there, and so go ahead. Yeah, just hold it like karaoke.
Is the reflection is about the how should I say 450 word essay? Is it something like that?
Not quite. good question. I'm glad you asked about the word essay. Okay, because an essay is coming later. An essay usually involves some research where you're trying to prove what you're asserting. This is no research at this point. It's almost like you're writing a personal diary entry. It's written in the I, not the we. So you're talking about how you feel or how you think about something. And this can be kind of new for some students from other countries who are used to a much, maybe more traditional way.
Centralized and more, how should I say?
Heh.
I'm lost for words.
No, it's good. It's good. But I appreciate you having the courage to come up and sit in the hot seat, okay? Because later it's going to be Jamie, right? But anyways, okay. So first, what's your name?
Jazeel.
It's Jazeel.
Jazeel.
Oh, okay. So are you the Jazeel who's already volunteered or asked about getting involved in the World Expo?
Yes.
Way to go. So this student has already taken some initiative. First, just watch. This is leadership in kind of action. He said, "I have a question." So he got up. Okay, so he led. Not to say that you're not all ready to do that too. It's just that it is early in the morning, sort of, here in Oshawa. For everybody, it's 10 a.m. ish here in Oshawa, and there's a lot of snow, and so people may be a little bit, let's say, slower today here. You know, things slow down when there's a lot of snow. So I'm not expecting everybody to stand up and want to be leading and be involved. However, he took the initiative. And not only that, he sent me an email last week asking about the World Expo and how maybe to get involved with that. In a very small way, but important way, that's leadership. Meaning that you're ready to act. It's not just happening up here. it's you're ready to put some skin in the game. And remember what I said last week from my home, if I can remember correctly, when we went through some of the early sort of dimensions of leadership, about vision, about motivation. Communication is really important. So Jazeel is ready to communicate. Now, let's just try this for a moment, okay? Because it's always great to have a student up here. Jazeel, is it fair for me to say that I think you're an international student?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And the reason I thought that is because your English is not your first language, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So, way to go. You're communicating right now in front of everybody live with a language that's not your first.
Yes.
That's brave. Way to go. Okay. Okay. So, your question is about the reflection, right? And it's about, and just repeat the question again so we're all clear.
Is the reflection is up? Is it in 480 word essay, something like that?
It's not an essay. An essay will come later when you're doing research. Right now, you have 450 words minimum, 500 words maximum. And all you're going to do at this point for your first reflection is you're going to sit down and you're going to think about the first 3 classes that we've had. And if you need to review anything, everything's there. The recordings are there. The notes should be there, although I apologize. Last week, the notes, you had some good notes in the live chat. My mind was a little foggy at home, and I didn't save them. Okay? Sorry about that. So we're going to need you back on the board today. Or, yeah, are you okay to do that? Or should I can get somebody, what, just to be fair, although I like Barack's notes, we'll get somebody else on the notes today, okay? In a moment, okay? But so the idea is that you have the resources available to you on DC Connect, but you will sit back and you will think, what's the one thing? What's the one thing of these 3 classes so far that has stuck with me? So I'm not testing you. I'm not quizzing you. on information that you have to memorize. I'm asking you to engage in more critical, deeper thinking, where you have to process what you've been involved in this class. And then you have to explain with the written word, English, okay, not Hindi, would it be? No, which
I don't know Hindi.
it's what's your first language?
My first language is Malayalam.
Is it Sri Lankan?
No, it's a Kerala language. It's a South Indian language. I'm not fluent in Hindi.
Well, you're going to have to educate me. I love the diversity here. Okay, so I took a language that I thought was very common, but you're giving me something that is more local. Could you tell me the name of that language again?
It's called Malayalam.
Wow, how do you spell that?
It's MALAYA
MALAYA.
LAM.
We'll have to write that down.
Yeah, it's trying to explain.
I got a little bit of this respiratory condition, fog happening in my brain right now. But it's just wonderful to see this kind of diversity, and that's something that we celebrate or we try to explore and understand more as global leaders, is we're not afraid of diversity. I'm not going to explain what that means, but if you think about what's happening in the world around you today that makes you sometimes depressed in terms of conflict, it might have something to do, just a small thing, with the fact that human beings often need to step up their game when it comes to intercultural literacy and understanding. We're not so good at accepting and even liking people who are different. We pay a lot of lip service to it. But when you get really deep down in this thing, humans have a lot of growing to do when it comes to the black and the white, the man and the woman, the brown, let's say, or let's say the Muslim and the Hindu, or the Jew and the Christian, or the Chinese and the Japanese, and it's just endless. So your language that you're going to write in is English.
Yeah, I write in English.
And all you're going to do is you're going to sit and you're going to think about, well, what is this so far in this class? What has stuck with me? So let's with Jazeel, let's take this as a little moment to help all of you with this process of your first assignment. I'm going to be asking you to do a lot of this through the semester in every reflection, which is to think about what's registering with you. But you're going to have to integrate the ideas from our classes into your reflection. So you're processing what we've been discussing and exploring together, and then you're giving that back in your own words. Do you understand so far?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's try this for a second, okay? I'm going to assume that Jazeel is ready to write his first reflection, not just an hour before it's due, but maybe a couple of days before. So it's due next Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. Dropbox. I've asked you to think about the first three classes. So let's say on Friday next week. On Friday, you sit back and you go, okay, I've got this assignment due for Global Leader next Tuesday. Lon has asked me to think about the first three classes. I'm going to take a half an hour now, and then I'm going to think about this. And then I'm going to start writing. So, Jazeel, let's say you're that person next Friday who's doing that. What would be the most outstanding thing for you that stuck with you in the classes so far? Just one idea.
For me, it was the first class introduction and the international meetings we did,
Yes?
and the second class, the Nigerian political system and the mining and the the stuff they talked about the the country of Nigeria.
Great,
Those
great.
things stuck about me, and the expo, definitely the expo.
So we've got 2 or 3 things there. That's good. So your memory is working. Now I just want to remind all of you that we're now, in terms of today's class, we haven't even gotten to the main content yet. But I always want to take the beginnings of classes that we do with you to review. And as assignments start to get done, I will always talk about the assignments at the beginning of the classes, because I'll be giving general feedback through the semester in terms of what I'm reading at the beginning of the classes. Okay, so it's important that we spend some time on this right now before we get into the content. This is your mark. I mean, this is, you're being graded now. So, all right, you have to choose only one idea of those 2 or 3. I only want one thing. You only have 450 to 500 words at this point, and good critical thinking, which is what a leader does. The person who is really leading is the one who cares the most, is the one who thinks deeply the most, is the one who works the hardest, often because that person feels responsible for everybody. So you have to think less is more now. You can't do everything. You have to make a selection. And when you have to make a selection about something, that's where real thinking starts to happen. You're like the coach who has to decide who's going out on the pitch today, who's going out on the rink, and I've got all these players, but I can only put, 3 people on the forward line, right wing, center, left, 2 defensemen and a goalie if we're playing hockey, but I got a whole bench of guys. You have to select. So select one. Try for a moment. This is where hard thinking goes. Of those 2 ideas you gave, or 2.5, which is the one that you want to write about? And you can just say it off the top of your head right now. Okay?
That would be the second week topic. That felt way more interesting, actually.
Exactly. This is what it is. It's interesting. And just repeat that topic again.
It's about the Nigeria they talked about, and the country's development,
Yes.
and the future,
Yes.
and the economic system that's already in place, and the people who are from foreign are coming to develop the country. The
Great.
investment they did.
Excellent. Okay, so you were listening. And so now here's the really important part of the assignment. You would explain in the first 2 or 3 sentences the topic you've chosen. Now you spend the rest of those 450 words or so explaining, why does that topic matter to you? Why did Jazeel choose that topic? Why does Nigeria and the mining and the situation there matter to you, who is not even Nigerian, is not African, you're Indian? So why should it matter to you? Try and explain that.
Because the same things that the country of Nigeria doing can apply to my state or my country
Huh.
in several districts and sectors.
Excellent.
As you can see, several Indian students are going going outside the country for studies. They are not only in Canada, but in US, Bulgaria, Georgia, Qatar, and several Eastern European countries. There used to be several Indian students in Ukraine too for the studies.
You're writing. You know what you should do at the end of this when you want to write your sign? When you're ready to write it, go back to the recording and listen to yourself talking right now and just transcribe it, and that will be your assignment. But you're on it, okay? This is good. We don't need to go into more detail right now. Is everybody understanding what I'm asking you to do for the first reflection? Ryan would know because he's been in other class. So would Grayson. And I think I've seen you before in other class. Yeah, first one. Okay, good. So Jamie, making sense? Yeah. Okay. Excellent, Jazeel. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the process in terms of your first question? Is this an essay or not? Or do you feel you understand what this is?
I understood for the most part. It's about something we write ourselves, and we write about ourselves and our understanding in the reflection.
Yes. And what interests you and why it interests you.
Yes.
That's it.
Just one topic is enough,
One
or
topic
should
is enough at
I
this
write
point.
several?
No, you'll be all over the place. You'll be like a hockey player who gets onto the ice and he hasn't sharpened his skates, and he steps onto the ice and he just slides all over the place. No, you want sharp skates. You get on the ice. I mean,
Yes.
I can't help using the hockey skating stuff for everybody here. Anyways, okay, good. So you sure you're clear?
Yes, everything's clear.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's give Jizil a little round just for doing that. Okay, do you want to put the mic back? That's great. I want to check and see online if there's anything coming in, because then I want to give you a little bit of harder, tougher stuff that you need to hear. So just get ready in a moment about the first reflection, and it has to do with something called AI and plagiarism. Okay, so I just need to get to that, but that's a harder conversation. So let's see. Mayreen's with us, good, and I see some others there. If there's anything anybody would like to say from the cosmos, jump on your microphone, or just even better, just hit the little hand up digital icon, and we will hear it bling here, and we can come to you. That seems to be working. Mayreen, in a few moments, I'd like to, if you could give a little update on where things are with the World Expo and our plan. Okay, so are you ready to do that? Let's see if she can hear it. Mayreen, are you there? Okay, we'll come. Oh, there's Mayreen. She's put
Hold
the.
on.
Yeah, hi, Mayreen. Good. I know you're at work, right? So you may not hear. Are you ready in about 5 or 10 minutes to give a little update on the World Expo?
Sure, no problem. You just let me know when you would like me to
Sure.
jump on.
Okay, yeah, we'll come to you in a second.
No problem.
Okay. This is a hard conversation to have, but I want to have it as soon as possible with all of you. And I may have touched on this already, but I want to make sure everybody understands. And I'm going to need someone on the notes for this one too, okay? Because there's some important stuff. So let's give Barack a break today. And how about, what's your name again? You're over here? No, not you, the young woman here? It's, oh, that's Princess. Good. Princess, why don't you go and grab a pen and you'll be our note taker today. It's okay, yeah? I don't want to order. Okay. Are you going to be all right? Okay. Okay, because if you have having problems, I may follow you out too, because I'm a little my head's not altogether there, but it's coming. Okay, so that's not a problem. But as long as you can understand, if you have any questions, okay? Okay. Well, how about the gentleman there who's just sitting behind the couches? What's your name? Ahmed? Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed. Could you go ahead and stand by the smartboard and take some notes? How's your writing? Not too bad? Well, we'll help you, okay? Let me go show Mohammed how to do this. And since the students online have said they love this little move, here we go, okay? See the zip over here? Okay. So hold on, we're gonna get Mohammed set up. Oh, somebody is okay, so is it? Whoa, hold on. Write your name and just put Mohammed's notes. Okay? Mohammed's notes. And I'll just check and something's reverbing. I don't know if it's me or something, but somebody may have. Oh, yeah. Yeah, got it. Good, Jasir. He's joining. Okay, so Mohammed's doing the notes, and I'm going to come back now, and let's see how Mohammed's notes look on the big board. Not bad. Okay. I'm sorry that you've entered a class this semester where your note taking is going to be on full display for everybody. But this is important because this part where you write things is the critical part of the class. These are your words. This is what we're learning together. These are the live PowerPoint slides made by us. Okay? So, Mohammed, do your best And if you want to rub anything, just take your hand right now and just take your palm and go across Muhammad's notes and watch what happens. Just do that. Exactly. Anytime you want to do that. Okay? So just write Muhammad's notes again and write reflection 1. And be warned. I'd like you to write this, be warned, okay? Here comes a difficult discussion. And for all of you who are listening in the recordings later, for all of you online right now, please make sure you are now having your brain connected to this, because this is a really critical discussion, particularly around leadership. How are you going to use artificial intelligence this semester in the work that you do for Global Leader? And this is not only an important discussion to have about artificial intelligence, it's also about the human future, about humanity. We all happen to live at a time in history where our machines, our devices, are becoming supercharged. We're living at a time in history where humans are changing the natural world. There are many things that I could talk about with you this semester on this very topic, but I do certainly talk a lot about it in Short History of the World and Humanity's Destiny. What you need to understand is, and I'm not saying anything you don't really know, you have incredible power with you every single moment of the day in your hand, in your phone. And that thing is a machine. That's what it is. It's a tool created by humans to help us to improve ourselves, to get better, to connect more, to share information more. But as we all know, we're now at a point in history where we're beginning to think of new kinds of machines that will replace human intelligence. And you may go into a field in the future where you may be building some of these machines or creating some of the algorithms that drive these machines. And without getting really into it, why it's relevant right now for your reflection and your assignments is because the truth is, and I just went through a whole semester, the first semester I've ever gone through in 14 years of teaching here, where I had to sit with some students to explain to them that you can't have a chat bot or chat GPT writing the sentences for you. That is not only cheating, it's worse. Now, I'm not going to direct anything about this to any particular group of students from any part of the world. I'm directing it to all of you, all of humanity, perhaps. Why would I say that if you use an AI or you use ChatGPT or you use OpenAI or you use one of the applications to write your sentences for you, why would I say that's worse than cheating? Worse. And give Mohammed a mic. Can you give Mohammed a microphone? Because I think he wants to say something. Right? Great. Okay. Go ahead and turn it on. And Mohammed, watch what's going to happen. Okay. People are going to see you right now. And if you want to talk directly to the folks online, there's the camera. I've just moved it over there. Okay. And then sometimes when I move the camera back, it's that same camera. I just shift it back here. Okay.
Okay.
So, anyways, it might be too much to worry about. You can talk to us.
Okay.
So, why would I say that?
Because you're not thinking for yourself and you're just having it think for you, and it just shows you haven't learned anything.
Exactly. Beautiful. Okay. Thanks. So, a leader thinks for himself. Can you write that down, Mohammed? Okay. Now, I want to make sure that none of you will be using AI apart from a research tool this semester. It's great to access information, but I'm going to give you a small example of something that happened last semester with a student that I failed. I failed quite a few, but some of them I'm helping because they reached out to me afterwards and they said, "Why did you do this?" And I said, "Listen, let me show you all of this AI paragraph. I can see it's all not written by you." And so I sat with some students and I gave them another chance. And they're rewriting the assignments. But here's what one student told me that's fascinating. I asked them, "What did you put in the prompt box when you were asking the AI to help you?" And the student said, "Well, I put a few notes in, 4 or 5 notes." And the student wrote those notes in the computer for me. And then the student said, I asked the ChatGPT to provide me with a paragraph that sounds good. Sorry. Oh man, I'm not laughing at the student, okay? Believe me. I'm laughing at human beings. And then the student finally admitted and said, "Yes, I know what I'm doing. I did was wrong. I shouldn't have done it, but Lon, I'm so busy. I've got student loan to pay for. Your course is not that important." And I love the student's honesty. But I had a really good conversation. So I learned from the student that the student is doing what a lot of grown-ups are doing today. Is the student is using a machine to do the work for them because the student's too busy and overwhelmed with life. Is anything of what I'm saying not making sense? Like, is it making sense? You sure? I'm not speaking about any individual student. I'm not singling anybody out. I'm singling all of us out, we humans, because I'm tempted to do that sometimes. I'm tempted to write emails by having the ChatGPT do it for me because I'm so stressed with work, but I won't do it. I just won't do it. I have too much respect for the written word. So here is the dividing line this semester between when you can use AI and when you can't. You can use it for research, but if I smell that these sentences were written not by you, I'm going to come down pretty hard on you. And for those students who speak English not as their first language or even second language, please do not worry. Give me the words in English that you know. Don't use the machine to make you sound like you really speak English well. Don't do that. Just give me what you know. At least I will know that you have not abdicated your critical thinking to a machine. Ah, so good to get that off my chest. I came in here today, I really wanted to make sure this got through to all of you at this time. So let me just stop for a second, okay, and do a little review, and then we're going to move on and to some content. I'd like Mohammed to write some more notes about this, but I'd like to help him. So what should he write about this? Anyone? Jamie, do you want to tell Mohammed to just a second? Okay. I didn't bring my mask, so this is second best. Okay, so there you go. Just take that, turn that on. Okay, Jamie, what should Mohammed write?
I can say AI is not your voice. It's not
AI is not your voice. That's lovely. AI is not your voice. Actually, Jamie, that is exactly just about what a colleague of mine said. She stood in front of her students and said, I'm desperate to hear your own voice. Don't give me a machine, please. Nice. So AI is not your voice. Ryan, yeah, let's get some good insights. This is going to be a critical, what Mohammed is writing right now. I hope that you will return to this later as a PDF. This will be stored as a PDF, Mohammed, as a resource, okay? So it's important. Ryan, go ahead.
I like how you mentioned that, like, I don't know, you're kind of outsourcing your consciousness because, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like a robot or something that compiles information to generate something that is imitating human consciousness is not the same thing as actually like being human consciousness.
You're
Because you're not-
outsourcing your brain.
Yeah,
Nice.
but like
outsourcing your brain. Don't
Yeah.
outsource your brain.
it's almost like you're pulling from a source instead of just like being in an organic state where nothing is like being tampered with, or you know like, because like AI is just like compiled information, right, from different places. It's just like, I guess, a some kind of algorithm like spitting it out in some specific way.
Yes.
But I don't know, I feel like as us as humans, like, when an idea means something to us, it actually interacts with us on a like spiritual level, and it changes the way we think about everything else in the world.
Sure.
So
Hmm.
like, if, for example, like, when you fall in love or something, it might, make you a nicer person. You might feel like, you're walking on some clouds, or
Yes.
but and then conversely, if you lose somebody you care about really deeply, that could also change a person in a different way. But an AI is likely not going to have those same kind of reactions that we as humans like feel deeply.
Sure.
So
Okay, we have
I know
excellent.
that was a lot to write on the board. So
No, but don't outsource your brain.
maybe better don't outsource your soul.
Oh, don't outsource your soul. Ooh, yeah. We're going to have another slide after this called the positive uses of AI for your assignments, okay? So I am not going to stand here and tell you that AI is dangerous and should never be used, because it's a human invention. It's a human tool. We humans cannot be stopped from inventing powerful tools and technologies. That's who we are. It's how we use them. That's the critical discussion. Okay, so, but we'll get to that positive side. Thanks, Ryan. There is, I think Richie has raised his hand. So Richie, please, let's hear your thoughts. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask, so it's clear that we understand that it's not good to use AI for generating ideas. But what about for grammatical purposes? Like the way you could use a thesaurus to change up your
Good
words.
point. Good point. I did not say, I just want to I'm so glad. I didn't say don't use AI to generate ideas. I want to make this clear. I said don't use AI to write your sentences. There's a big distinction here, okay? I want to make sure it's understood. Okay, so Richie, let me just pull back for a second and make sure that's clear. Do you understand the distinction between the generation of ideas and the composition of sentences? Richie, does that make sense? The distinction? Whoops. Oh, hold on.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Yes, it
okay,
does.
great. Good. Okay, sorry, keep going. All right. So I just want to make sure that that distinction is clear. But what would you like to add to that?
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna add, like, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to ask if it's okay to use ChatGPT, just to polish your essay.
Yeah. Okay. As a proofreading device.
Yes.
Good. Okay. This is a really interesting question. And so could you write this down right now, Mohammed? AI as a proofreader. Please put a question mark beside that. it's always helpful for me to stop and remind you of what an extraordinary time we humans live in. And maybe this class will also waken you to the idea of not only that there's a bit of a leader in you that can help you in your life and to succeed, but it will also awaken you to the idea of what an extraordinary time in history we are all living in when we're having these kinds of discussions about machines and about humans and about how far we should go with our machines. It's a very ethical, spiritual, philosophical discussion, but you are part of the 21st century. You're living at the beginning of the third millennium in the 2000s. This is the time when humans began to realize the world has become a planet. This is the time in history when humans began to realize that we better get control of our machines. Otherwise, we may end up becoming less important than our machines. Do we want to live in that kind of world? So it's all the big picture around this discussion we're having today is fascinating, but let's come back to the reflections that you're going to do, okay? So we've got a good list going there. Richie, unless there's anything else you'd like to add, I'm going to see if there's others here who would like to expand on this. Otherwise, we're going to move on, and I'm going to try a little something off my toes, something I wasn't even planning to do today. But that's how I like to teach. That's how we should live, off our toes, with our minds fully present. Nothing there. Excellent, Mohammed. Please stay there, okay? Stay on this for a moment. Stay on that slide. We're not quite ready to go to the positive part yet. Anybody else here ready to jump in with something that they'd like to say on why you shouldn't be using AI to write your sentences? Okay. I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to put you in small groups in a moment to discuss the positive sides of how to use AI, how you can be benefiting from AI when you write your reflections and your assignments. And that's something that I think we really need to have a good discussion about. And then we're going to start really talking about empowerment. I believe that the writing of good sentences, using language well, is a very important human act. In fact, the ability to express ourselves with the written word is something that has often been said to be the greatest human invention of all. So when I kind of go on about sentences, and when I go on about writing well, it's not just because of me and because I love that. I love language. I come from a long background in journalism and writing and filmmaking and television and communication. It's also because I understand from a historical standpoint the power that the written word gives us. So I hope that when you start to think about those sentences that you write, even if they're written in a language that you're not comfortable with, I hope you will start to appreciate that your ability to put together really well-written sentences is a sign of how you think. And if your sentences are sloppy or not done well, that's a sign of the way your brain works, your mind works. If you don't care about punctuation, you don't care about spelling, you don't care about clarity in your sentences, that's an indication of how your mind works. That's an indication of how you do everything in your life, probably. If you persist in thinking that writing well is not important for this class, but it is for other classes, then please come talk to me and explain why you think this class is not important for you. But starting today, starting right now, I want everyone to know that when you deliver your first reflection, I do not want to see any plagiarism, meaning that you have copied and pasted something from another website. I don't want to see it written by a machine. I want to hear your voice. And if you have trouble with that, please send me an email and we will meet privately and I will help you, okay? So is that clear? Everything good? This is the harder discussion to have with all of you. All right. Then I think, excuse me, it is time to get you guys into groups a little bit and focus on something a bit more positive. All right. So, Mohammed, you can come back. Okay. You can leave the notes up there. Yep. Put the pen down. And let's do it this way. Okay. I would like groups of 3 right now. So it would be Ryan, Mohammed, and Jack. Jack, how do you spell it? Jatin. Okay. The 3 of you are a little group. Okay. Right here. Stay in the nucleus right here so everybody on camera can see you. Okay. So come right to here and it'll be the 3 of you. Okay. The 3 of you right here together. Okay. Grayson, you're here. Could you? Yeah, that's great. You can stay in your, the 3 of you right here. Okay. And then the 4 of you right here. Okay. Come in and join next to Princess. All right. And for those of you online, I'd like you to start thinking about something, okay? I'm going to give you all about 10 minutes to 15 minutes to start thinking of very specific positive examples of how you could be using AI to make your assignments and reflections even better. Yes. I'll get to her in a second, okay? Yeah, I'm going to talk to her. I just want to make sure. Thanks for reminding me. Maureen, I'm coming to you in a moment, okay? I just want to get this going. So everybody online as well. Good, thanks, Maureen. Make sure that you start to think about the positive benefits of AI for your reflection and start writing good sentences in the live chat. Please don't write just notes in the live chat about how AI could be used positively. Please write complete sentences in the live chat. I'd like to see how people write online right now in the live chat. Okay. But for all of you, each group have a little discussion about this, okay? Some examples, and I'll check back in with you. Okay? Any form of AI, any form of machine assistance that can generate its own knowledge or intelligence, generative intelligence, machine intelligence. Jamie? Put that, I'm gonna wait until we have the follow-up because the proofreading part comes up and I want to wait till the end because that's a big question, okay? It's still, that's the proofreading question one. That's how I think Grammarly is being used as proofreading. Yep, sure. Yeah, okay. Okay. Have that in your discussion and get ready and we will take it up and we will put that in the notes, okay? That's a good question. All right, is everyone clear what I'm asking you to do? Okay, 10, 15 minutes, Ryan? No, positives. Positives. The negatives we've already started. That's okay. The positive uses of AI. Okay, 3 of you? Good. Okay, so let me just come. Maureen, are you there? Let me come to you for a second while everyone is having a little discussion. And Maureen, would you be able to write in the live chat a little bit of an update, just a brief update on where we are with World Expo right now? Would you be able to do that? Thanks, Maureen. Great. Okay. And then I'll let you go. Neve, how do you pronounce it? Nevea?
Nevea.
Nevea. Good note, Nevea.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay. Let's see what else come little discussions right now. Nevaeh's note that she's put in the live chat is good. It's nice, complete sentences. Haha, good. Nevaeh, keep
Yep.
going. If you can give
Okay.
more examples of how you have actually used it yourself in a positive way, please
Yep.
write that in the live chat, okay? This is
Okay,
helpful.
no
And
problem.
remember, I will be saving the live chat for a
Okay,
resource.
thanks.
So this is good. So everybody, watch what Nevaeh is doing. It's good. And I know Richie's going to have something good in there. I expect it. Maureen's going to come with her update. Nathan, good. Cindy, Burhan, just follow what Nevaeh is doing right now. Nevaeh, yeah, nice. Now I'm going to come over and I'm going to clean up the notes a little bit. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay. So we have these good notes from Muhammad. So nice, nicely written. It's clear. Okay. Yeah, AI is not your voice. Don't outsource your soul. AI is a proofreader. Okay. For those of you watching the recordings, think about what you could add to this list of why you shouldn't be using AI for your reflections. That's what this slide we've started is largely about, okay? That Muhammad has done, and I'm just helping him now. I might do a little bit of rewriting on this, but we're going to switch now, and I'm going to set things up for the next part, okay? So, and we'll call this the positive uses of AI. Okay? And we're going to put some notes in here. We're going to put probably 1, 2, 3. I'm just getting ready. I'm just getting ready for the next part. Okay? So I will leave it like that for now. Okay? So this is coming. Positive uses of AI. Good, Cindy. And let's see how we're doing back here. Nice. You're done? Okay, then you know what? Go ahead and start writing your ideas on the board. The positive uses. It can be Muhammad or it can be, yeah, do Muhammad. Go on. And we're going to take this up soon. Keep going. They're ready. They can start. The positive uses of AI, okay? So, and I'm going to just take the camera. So Muhammad is already starting. We're not yet ready to take this up. I'm talking now largely to the online group. Yeah, okay. Good. Great. All right. Good. Well, this is the proofreading Grammarly question. Okay, so but okay, well, keep go, go and help Muhammad. Okay, give Muhammad the ideas that you're asking me now. Get them on the board because this is critical, and then we'll take it up together. Okay, Ryan, you can go. Even if it's on the gray area. Okay, positive uses. Okay, not negative. Positive uses. Okay, so Ryan's gonna go. Good. Okay, guys. And just know that they can see you, all right? So the camera's on. So Ryan's helping right now Mohammed with the notes. I'll come back to here and let them have a little moment. Good. And I'm having fun with the camera. Good. You can go and help. Absolutely. Okay. So we've got our little group over here working on the notes. Oh, this is coming to life. Lovely. We got 3 on the smart board. Okay. Oh, I'm going to make you dizzy with this camera for all the onliners. Okay, good. 5 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to take this up. Let me just check in and see what's happening in the live chat. Yeah, exactly. I'm just checking Mayreen's note, and we'll review this with everybody. Mayreen, I know you had mentioned to me that the March deadline is, there's not really a March deadline, right? So can you just put in the live chat again, what is that March sort of deadline exactly? Great, so we've got the live chat going. Mayreen is putting her update there. I know Richie is working because I can see him thinking. Excuse me. Sorry, Richie, I couldn't resist. You can turn your camera or your camera if you don't want me in your face. Anyways, okay. So Nevaeh, currently in the graphic design program, so I've used AI to help me generate how I should move forward. I think, Nevaeh, you will be able to speak to this idea of sort of when not to use AI, because you're using it, but you're not using it. And that's good. This is a hard line. Nevaeh, do you use AI at all for proofreading whenever
For
you're writing something?
proofreading, if I'm being honest, no. I kind of just ask someone else to proofread it for me. I don't really know. I'm not the
Ah,
best with AI, so I don't know exactly how I should go
okay,
about that.
sure. And when somebody reads your assignment or reflection and they make changes, do they actually make the changes, or do they just tell you what to do and you make the
Um,
changes?
so normally my favorite thing to do is just copy and paste it into another Word document, keep my original work in another document, and have them kind of change it around and see what I like from what I don't like,
Right.
and then I'd interpret whatever I think needs to change.
Do you feel that when that person has given you those changes that you've learned something, or is it more passive that you're just going along with what they say?
I think that I do learn something in a sense, but most of the time I'm asking for the proofread for grammar checks because I am passionate about what I'm saying, so I'm not looking for
Yes.
anyone to change what I'm saying. It's mostly about the grammar check. So if they do try and change something, I'm like, okay, let me reconsider like what I'm saying or like try and consider what they're saying, but most of the time it's just for grammar.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. It's good.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna come take all of this up shortly, and I will just check and see here. So if there's anything that you would like to ask of me right now, just put it in the live chat, okay? I just need a moment to check my notes. Okay, 3 minutes, everybody. The in-person group, we're gonna take this up. Good, Richie. As a programmer, AI is really good at troubleshooting bugs in your code. I think it has excellent saving time because of it. Programming student worry that AI could take their jobs, so it's become a useful tool. It takes a human being to understand a real world problem and create a viable solution. Something isn't designed, but things could change.
Can I say one more thing?
Good, Richie. Yeah, go ahead.
I've also used AI because for one of my classes we had to do like website building. So I would ask ChatGPT to give me like a wireframe kind of for my website, which my teacher said was fine, and it made my job like 10 times easier.
Yeah, yeah. Well, these are things that we need to keep discussing so that you will know you will have some standards on how you're going to use AI when you become a professional too, Nevaeh. So when you go into the business in graphic design, you will be ready to use the
Mhm.
tool well. I don't want you to get fired or to lose opportunities because you have been abusing this tool.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
that's what I'm trying to help you with. Okay, so it's good. Okay, what I will do in 1 minute, we're going to take things up, and then at that point, Mayreen, I'm going to review the World Expo update with you, and then we'll let you go, and then we're going to finish up with our take up on everything else. Okay, so great. Yes. Yes, but then I sent it to the global class email as well, so Mayreen has it. Okay, so you sent it to me, but then I made sure it's in our global class inbox. In the future, send it to the global class. Okay, it would be, and what is it? It's the Mayreen. The email for Jazeel is asking. Uh, I received it already. I'm sure I received something from you earlier. Were you last week? Yeah. Okay. And you sent something to either me or the global class email. I'm not, but we received an email and I, it's Jazeel? Yeah. Pretty sure it was you. Maybe it's an AI. Oh man, somebody's thinking for you, Jazeel. Maureen is double checking right now on the global class. Okay, get ready. We're going to take this up. And there, there it is. Yeah, she's put it, the global class at Durham College. Come, gentlemen, yeah, come back. And that's great. Okay, you can leave that there for now. And we'll let, yeah, you can sit there. And then why don't the three of you, could the three of you go over to the smartboard right now? And all right, and you guys can do the notes now for everybody else. Give everybody a chance. I just like to now let you know we're going to begin the take up part of this. First, we're going to have a little update from Mayreen through the live chat about World Expo, and then we're going to finish with this. I'd like to tell you something that you may not have noticed. Maybe it will make sense now as I tell you this. Today, I came into this class with a plan. Ash from Pakistan was going to be our guest, and we were going to do a class on empowerment. Something has happened, obviously, because he was all ready, and I'm sure it's a connection issue. And who knows? There's a lot of volatility in that part of the world right now. There could even be some potential violent conflict there too. I hope not. My point is that Ash is not here. And I basically had to, while I've been teaching you, throw out my original plan. I hope you didn't notice too much. As a leader, do you know how often you're going to have to walk into situations and change because things aren't working out the way you want? And you're going to have to adjust and pivot and skate and move. I had a plan, but I also had other ideas as well. I wanted to be reviewing the AI portion, but I didn't want it to go on like this. That wasn't the plan. However, at a certain point, I made a decision. And I didn't want you to see it. I want you to see a sense of positiveness, can-do-ness, troubleshooting on your toes. And I decided I'm going to go with the AI portion today as probably the full class, and I'm going to try something with the groups. I didn't even plan to put you into groups like this or to be doing that over in the smartboard. But I thought, I think we can do this now because Ash isn't here. I'm not ready to talk about empowerment with him not here. This is working well. I'm going to go with the flow and I'm going to teach them this well. That's leadership. That's the ability to move with something that's not working and go somewhere else because you always have a solution in the back of your mind to pivot. Making sense? Okay, great. So let's finish AI. This is critical. And I have to say, this is great the way you are taking to the smartboard. Mohammed is writing better than I thought he would in terms of just the writing style. Sometimes writing could be rough. This is good. And I'm not struggling with any of you today in terms of pulling you off your machines. This is all good. So let's finish. First, Mayreen has waited patiently. Okay, and Mayreen, are you able to share your camera with us or just your microphone? Ooh, great. Okay, so let's bring Mayreen in. And here she is. And Mayreen, where are you right now?
I'm actually at work. Sorry, just 1 second.
Okay. As long as we have your audio, it's okay. So she's joining us from work where she's working with, is it young children? You're in a center for children that you have been caring for? Oh, okay, we lost. Uh-oh, okay. So what do I do now? Exactly. Adjust. This is Mayreen's back. This is, see, watch me a little bit because part of how I teach you is how I adjust to problems in here, okay? This is a kind of leadership. Okay, Mayreen, are you back? Maybe not. Okay. So let's move on. And first, I'll just check with the
Hi, I'm
system
sorry
here.
about
There
that.
she is. Okay. Wow, I'm ready to move back to Mayreen. Go ahead. So Mayreen, could you just update us a little bit from what you wrote in the live chat? Just sort of repeat a little bit and explain where do we stand with our World Expo plan in 2025 as of today? Please go ahead.
Right. So based on the what I put in the chat, so the official Expo website or like the official Expo social media accounts have been posting updates or like updating the followers on different pavilions that are going to be present at the World Expo. So the
Yes.
latest one was Switzerland, and they were just showing what the pavilion will be about, and they've shared a picture about the architecture or the concept of it.
Yes.
And we still have to submit our co-creation partner application. So that has a deadline for March, and we should be able to get it in by then because you just have to apply and then we get a provisional like ID for
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And then once we hit April of this year, it will be 1 year until the Expo 2025 in Japan.
Great. So can you just briefly explain what's the co-creation challenge? Because there are students who are starting to volunteer who may want to be involved with this. I know Jazeel has here. I know Ryan has. And then is Jamie Pearl? Is it? Oh, that's the Jamie. Okay, sorry. Too many students. Jamie did as well in an email. So this is great. We may start to bring them in to the co-creation challenge and build your final assignment around this, but we'll see. Okay. So could you just describe what is the co-creation challenge again? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So it's part of something called the Team Expo 2025 program, where there's two categories. Either we submit or present ourselves as co-creation partners, or we submit a co-creation challenge. And basically, it will be something that Expo will present throughout the 6 months of the event. And we will get to work with other partners or work towards a challenge to kind of accomplish it because it will be it is the kind of a milestone for 5 years before everybody wants to reach the Sustainable Development Goals that UN has kind of put out.
Yes.
So it is 5-year milestone to reaching that goal, which everyone hopes to reach by 2030. And the
Yes.
other expo will also be taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So,
Sure.
sorry, Lan.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm so
You
sorry,
got you
I
go.
have to leave. Yeah.
We'll let you go. Okay. Thanks
Okay.
for dropping in and giving us the update.
No problem.
We have it in the live chat, which will be saved for everybody. So the co-creation challenge is something that we're going to start. Thanks, Maureen. See you soon. Okay. Excellent. So let's come back and finish up, and we will definitely be following up on this. Okay, Jamie and Jazeel and any others online or watching the recording. Please, if you are interested in getting involved in the World Expo team for 2025, the World Expo site, Expo 2025, is already quite active. You can check that. Just enter Expo 2025 in your search bar, and we will continue to build a plan together for how we're going to have students here involved, and some of whom may be going to Japan with this. It's going to just depend on the college and finances, but we're working on that. Okay. And we have good backing from our president, including the new president. By the way, you may not know, but our past president, Don Lavisa, has just retired. He will be coming into a class with us in February. We will be co-hosting a class together with him. But our new president has just been selected, and that's Elaine Pop, who has been the vice president of academic. She is now unofficially, but in March, officially, she will be the new president of the college, Elaine Pop. But she's also a big supporter of what we do here. So I'm expecting continuing support. Okay, so I think we can finish our take up. Grayson's ready, and just because two brains are better than one, Ryan, have I missed anything yet? Or remind me, okay? Okay, good. But you reminded me about Maureen. It didn't get in the notes, but I've got one important note left. Okay, so gentlemen who are on the board over here, we have first, for all of you, we have a great beginning of notes from the team that was there while we were doing the discussion. And that was Mohammed, Ryan, and Jatin. Okay, great. So that's there for now. Could you make another slide? Because we're just getting this down now, a bit of brainstorming, and we can always come back to this. Could you, Grayson, or any one of you, start writing your thoughts on positive uses of AI, and we will help you. So just start, okay? And then we were going to go around and we will see what we can add to this, okay? The critical thing that we want to do is as we start to add the positive uses of AI down on this board with them, I have a big word I want to remind you of that's really important. It's called integrity. As a matter of fact, we often say academic integrity at the college, which is that when you study and when you submit work, there's a certain standard that you follow to maintain your academic integrity. But I'm going to remove the word academic for now, and I'm just going to say integrity. I'm helping you today in the way that we look at the use of AI to make sure that you maintain your integrity at all times as a leader. What do I mean by that? Integrity. Why is integrity so important for a leader? Let's make sure we understand. Then we're going to come back and finish with Grayson and the rest of the group. Let them continue to work on this. And for those of you online, you can see them working away. And I like doing this with this camera because it looks good online. Students have said they like it when I zoom
What should
over.
the title of these notes be?
Well, the notes are being put on the smartboard, but if you're making notes on your own, it should be the negative and positive uses of AI in my reflections for the Global Leader class.
Okay,
That's
thank
too
you.
long. Negative and positive uses of AI. That's where this class has gone today, my backup plan.
Right now, are we talking about the? I meant to ask, like, are we talking about the negative or the positive part?
Negative.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm first, before we finish with negative, I'm introducing you to an overarching idea that pertains to everything that we've been discussing today and ultimately about leadership. And it's about integrity.
Okay,
Okay, so make sure, is that Nevea?
Nevea, yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that you are interacting with the class today. It's
I love to
great.
take notes. I just wanted to know, like, what
Yeah.
I should title my stuff.
Excellent. And your audio is good, and we don't have to go to the live chat. And, so way to go. So, Nevea, make sure you write down integrity. Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
hold on a second. I want to make sure. Am I making this up? Barak, did you have something to say about this? Integrity? Why is integrity important for a global leader? What is integrity? I know Ryan's ready to speak. Anyone want to try and answer this? Integrity. Jamie, go grab Mike. And why don't you just take the seat, okay? And you can be in the hot seat for the rest of the class. What exactly is integrity, Jamie?
Integrity is being uncompromising towards your values, morals, uh, standing up for what's right, not throwing somebody under the bus because it suits your needs.
Okay. High standards.
Yeah.
Let's get a proper definition of integrity from, let's say, Webster's online. Can somebody go online right now? While you're still writing, we'll get to you, okay? Don't worry. We're having a separate. What is, and we could get it from any place, just not Wikipedia for now. Go to Webster's. You'll find Webster's all over, or Oxford, if they're Oxford English Dictionary, but Webster's. Standard definition of integrity. Let us know when you've got it. See, look at how we're using AI right now in learning. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm allowing you to use your phones and your machines to help make the learning process better in class. This is a use of machine that's positive. So, okay, Jazeel, yeah, go. Take a microphone, okay? Take a microphone. Well, it's okay. The call is but sometimes, Jazeel, go ahead. it's the system, Ryan, but the system can be good. It can also be a real problem. Go ahead.
Affirm adherence to the code of especially moral and artistic value.
Read that again slowly.
Affirm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic value.
Okay, a core adherence.
Yes.
Adherence. So you are sticking to, you are following core values of moral purpose or something that is morally good. Integrity is maintaining the goodness, high standards. I don't want to use the word morality because that can lead us down maybe some religious path. Do you understand, Princess, what the definition of integrity is, more or less? Do you see why it's important that you maintain your integrity with the use of AI? And do you see how what we're trying to do right now is establish some standards that you can follow this semester in my class so that you maintain your integrity with your use of AI this semester? I would say to you, finally, that having led a production company, having been involved in another life before I entered the classroom, that my word when I tell somebody something is absolutely critical. It's my integrity, my honesty, my responsibility. My integrity when I was a leader or an executive producer was critical. People needed to trust me. If I betrayed that trust, I betrayed my integrity. Your integrity will be critical. Make sure you have integrity. Okay? Jamie, anything you want to add to that idea of integrity and the use of AI in maybe diminishing your integrity? Should we be warned that the use of AI could make us abuse our integrity?
To some degree, I think the use of AI is a little lazy, to be honest. You haven't put your own effort into doing something. You've outsourced,
Yep.
like someone was saying, your ideas to a computer. You can tell it or give it prompts of what you're looking for. But if someone's asking you for your own perspective,
Hmm.
you've just asked an AI to give
Yep.
your perspective. It's not your perspective. It's maybe a generalization of what your perspective could be.
And a human may be uniquely suited to understand what integrity means. Do you think a machine, even a learning machine that's generating intelligence, knows what integrity is?
I'd say it knows the definition.
Yeah, but does it feel it?
Like AI is just a predictive text. So it just looks for what is the next logical or highest percentage chance of the next word to come up based on whatever its library of files or
Yeah,
information that it
what
has.
data is.
And then the next word after that, it's another just a percentage chance of what it's going to come up to be. It's not you.
It's not you. We will continue this discussion through the semester, not just about AI, but about what is a human and what is a machine, and what does a human bring to the table that a machine doesn't. Very important discussion today in the 21st century. What do we humans bring to the table that robots don't and never will? Okay, now let's give Grayson and it's the other two. Just remind me the name. It's Nathan. Sorry, yeah, Nathan and how do you spell it? D-H-A? Darmit. Thank you, Darmit. Nathan, Darmit, and Grayson. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera over to them, and I'd like you to tell us. We'll get you in a second, okay? I'd like you to tell us, just all of us, what are the positive uses of AI as far as you see that you've written? Go, grab a microphone and go ahead, okay? Tell us, and then we're going to wrap things up, all right? I think we've got pretty well everything here. We'll come to the live chat next week. We can always review that. Okay, Grayson, so yeah, go ahead.
So some of the stuff we came up with, it can provide you, like, let's say you're stressed with stuff or you don't have a lot of time, you can get ideas or something from it to help save you some time and obviously reduce your stress. So, but use it as a tool to help you, but not to give you the answer. Like,
Okay, now
interpret it
Sure.
the way that you would if it was teaching. You're teaching.
Ah, so it's a teacher. It's teaching you about things. But then what happens when you have to sit down and take all of those ideas and put them into your own words? What then happens to all of those ideas?
What you should get from the AI is to be able to interpret how you would go about doing that so that you can put it into your own words so that you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to really examine this idea of the generation of ideas too closely, but let's just say for the moment that's a good use. I want to make sure that we address this final thing, and then we're going to finish the class about Grammarly and proofreading and how you can use AI in that sense, because this has come up quite a bit with other students. So Grayson, would you be able to, or Nathan, or Darmit, or anybody here, but we'll stick with the three of you, would you be able to explain how you might have used Grammarly in the past in a positive way?
Well, Grammarly exists to help you proofread your writing. So it like proofreads it for you and tells you, hey, you spelled this word wrong, or there should be different punctuation there. So like if you're one of the things, if you have to have good sentence structure, punctuation, or spelling for for whatever you're working on, it can help you make it correct
Sure.
by just reviewing what you're typing and saying if it's wrong or and you should try this instead.
Okay. Princess, yes, go ahead. We're going to finish up. Guys, thank you very much. Just stay there for, I'll save that later because that's going to be an important note, but we have 1 minute left. We're not going to be able to do everything today, but we at least got some critical fundamental ideas down. But let's let Princess wrap things up, okay? So for today, and then we're going to conclude. Princess, go ahead. Oh, just turn it on. Yeah, it might be off.
Okay. Okay. So our my group, we were talking about Grammarly, and I'm kind of giving a new perspective to the whole thing. I believe that we are in this age where you can't do things on your own. Meaning, if you're getting any form of digital assistance,
Yes.
whether hardware, you you do not have a choice but to use it, because AI goes beyond these chatbots. AI has existed for a while. AI is artificial intelligence. I know, like, I know Google is not AI, but it's kind of really like it's also a form of.
Yeah, it's a type of you. Absolutely.
So I believe that if you want to hear someone's real thoughts, real voice, it's better like handwritten or verbal. But even with the verbal, it's also a form of assistance. So it will use its intel to like make the prediction. So I'm just saying, like, if you're using your phone, your laptop, your tablet, as far as you're
Yes.
using a device, the device alone is an assistance.
It's an assistant.
Yeah.
It's an
So
assistant.
it's doing its job. That even though you're right, I understand make your own sentences, but there are times where we are texting someone and our phone is already predicting for us and completed the sentences.
Yes.
So I'll talk about that. I'll say, if you want genuine, authentic, like sentences,
Yes.
it's handwritten. 100%, because at that point there is no help. It is just you and a pen, and you're just going because it's like your brain and your hands working together.
Yeah.
Then I think another thing I want to talk about, I want to touch is after like the handwritten stuff, I think human beings as a whole, no matter how we advance or no matter how far our knowledge goes, we will, I don't think there's anything like the way you were saying outsourcing. I agree with you. I don't get me
Ryan,
wrong.
it was Ryan who said the outsourcing.
I'm not arguing that I'm not arguing about
Sure.
plagiarism or integrity. Like that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But AI works according to how we work. If we have two ideas, if Ryan and I have two ideas, right? And we are both using ChatGPT, our inputs, the way we understand it, that is how we will ask.
Yes.
So it's giving you an answer according to how you will ask.
Right.
So you should put in mind that it, in a way, it is personalized. It's according to what, like for instance, I can say, like according to my job. Okay, let me give you an example. So my auntie, she's an ECE. I am ECA, so she's more experienced. And
Early childhood education, ECE, early childhood education.
thank you. And we're having this, like, she wanted to do her work, like get some activities for the children. So I was giving her ideas. So I was like, you know what could really help us? We could use AI to generate ideas so you can work on the ideas. And she was like, no, that's cheating. That's wrong. And I said, oh, I understand that, but we're working on a huge project right now. We've brought out some ideas and you still need more. You need assistance.
Yeah.
So she used it and she was like, you know what, this isn't so bad. Now I said, oh, it's also personalized. So it is how you ask it the question. And she was arguing with me. She was like, oh no, that is still robots, that robots work according. I was like, no, you should understand that AI is way above robots. AI is man's way of creating life.
Let's stop for a moment, okay? First, because there is nothing better as an educator for me to have a student conclude a class with so much insight as you have, okay? It's wonderful. And we're also out of time. We're running 5 minutes, so I want to make sure you get out in time. But I would like to conclude now with Princess, but we're going to come back next week in the review, and we're going to pick up on one thing that she said, and maybe other things too. But there's one thing that Princess said, and I'd like you to write this down on the smartboard. Could you write a new slide, Grayson? Just in big letters. Princess said. Princess said. And I want you all to think about this week. We don't have a choice. That scares me, but maybe it shouldn't. Because then she started to explain how well AI can be used. And you give the example of the discussion and debate, and the person who said, don't use it, and then began to understand. We don't have a choice, though, is something I hope you don't say a lot in your life, and particularly as a leader. A leader is the one who always has the choice. A leader doesn't wait for anybody to tell them what the choice is. They're ready to make their own choices. And if the system is stacked against them and they feel they have no choice, what does the leader do? They bring a change. They have imagination. They have creativity. They have perseverance. They have courage to go in another direction. I'm not saying you're not a leader, Princess, because we all are potentially. And you just demonstrated real courage to give us this kind of insight and clarity at the end of a class, and I thank you for that. But that's a little disturbing. We don't have a choice. I want to make sure that you understand a leader will always have the choice. And if you don't, that means you're not leading, you're following. Does that make sense? Kind of? Okay, think about it. You're going to have a reflection to do for next week on Tuesday. You might want to reflect on what just happened here for your 450 words. I thank you all again for an excellent class and for being prepared to go with the flow. And if you need to reach me, you know where to find me. Thank you all online. I'll see you all next week, okay?
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Okay, I'm going to save the live chat. Make sure I do, or that will be a real loss. There
Thank
we
you and have a
go.
good one.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Have a good week. Okay.